virtual celebration. I am so excited to be here because who doesn't love Winnie the Pooh and all of his friends? So that is what our program is all about today. It's all about celebrating Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Piglet and Eeyore and Kanga and Roo and so many more. You know them all. I know you know them all. So we have a lot of fun in store for you today. I'm going to give you some Winnie the Pooh facts. We're going to do a Winnie the Pooh craft. We're going to even do some Winnie the Pooh exercises. We have a Winnie the Pooh story. We have so much stuff. It's going to be amazing. First thing though I want to let you know is if you come on down to Bowman Library, in honor of our celebration today, some of the things we're going to be doing, you're going to hear me refer to a grab and go kit. And here at the library, we have these awesome grab and go kits made up already that you can just swing on by the children's room, ask, hey, can I have a Winnie the Pooh grab and go kit? And we will gladly give you one. It is filled with the things you're gonna need for our craft. It even has our exercises we're gonna do. It has a ton of activities that again are all about Winnie the Pooh. So we encourage you to come on down, pick one of these up, because you're gonna want to do all the things in it, especially when you see what we're gonna be doing today. So, first thing though, is I want to give you some quick little facts about Winnie the Pooh, because if you're anything like me, I like kind of learning about how did this all get started, and believe it or not, Winnie the Pooh got started based off of real, actual bear. There is a soldier all the way back in 1919, that's like over 100 years ago, that he bought a bear from a hunter for $20. And he named this bear Winnipeg, called her Winnie for short because she was a girl. Yes, the original Winnie the Pooh was a girl. And he brought her over with him to Europe when he had to go fight in the war. But he wasn't going to be able to take care of Winnie like he thought he was going to. So Winnie ends up going to the zoo in London, where she becomes this instant sensation and everyone wants to go see Winnie, including a boy named Christopher Robin. Now Christopher Robin is actually a real kid too. Hey, Christopher Robin's dad would go with him to the zoo. His dad's name was A.A. Milne, and he saw how much Christopher loved Winnie that he decided he was going to write a story for Christopher Robin inspired by Winnie, and that became the first Winnie the Pooh story. Now, how did all of Winnie the Pooh's friends get involved? Well, believe it or not, most of his friends are inspired by stuffed animals Christopher Robin had at home. So basically, his dad put all of his stuffed animals in these stories and brought them to life. The two exceptions were owl and rabbit. Now, Christopher Robin didn't have stuffed animals for them, but when you would look outside and see where they lived, you could see real-life owls and rabbits, and that's how they got into the story as well, which is super awesome. Now, Pooh was only in books for a really long time, and it was only until about 60 years ago, so like 1950, I know that sounds like a long time ago, but it kind of wasn't, that Winnie the Pooh became a Disney character, and he got his first wide-length animation feature. And ever since then, Pooh has become one of the most popular Disney characters of all time. If you've ever been to Walt Disney World, you know he even has his own ride that you can go on, and it is an amazing ride. So, I hope you learned a little bit about some Winnie the Pooh stuff, and I hope you continue to stay tuned because we have tons of fun things in store for you coming up. So, it's time for our craft activity for our Winnie the Pooh Day celebration. So, remember how I talked about in our little welcomes part fact that you can come by the library and get a grab and go kit. Well, this craft is included in that grab and go kit. Everything you need, except for a couple things I know you already have around your house, are in that bag. So what you're gonna need though at your house, and this is on the piece of paper in there as well, just in case you forget, you're gonna need to have some glue, and you're gonna need a pair of scissors, and you're gonna need a crayon, no matter what color you choose to do, because you're gonna have to do a little bit of coloring. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be making a Winnie the Pooh face on paper plates. So you're gonna start with this blank paper plate, and you're gonna color it, and to save us a little bit of time, I've already gone ahead and I've already colored mine. So when you're done coloring yours, it might look like this, it might be a different color, it is totally okay. The other thing I've also done ahead of time is you're gonna have a black piece of construction paper that you can cut out different like ears or maybe a mouth, depending on what you wanna do. I've gone ahead and I've cut out 2 ears already, so we don't have to do that either. So I'm gonna get my glue ready here. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue ears on. So I'm looking at my plate, I'm gonna glue it at the top because remember Winnie the Pooh's ears are kind of at the top. So, okay. So I'm gonna put some glue on. I'm gonna glue his first ear over here so it looks like this. And I'm gonna do the same with his other ear because Pooh has 2 ears. Just like how we have 2 ears, Pooh has 2 ears. And there we go. So now we have our paper plate starting to look a little bit like Winnie the Pooh with his ears. So our next thing is going to be maybe his eyes. So in your kit, there are 2 little pom-poms, but you can also cut his eyes out of this black construction paper if you choose to do that as well. So I'm gonna take our glue here, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on our pom-pom here. And I'm gonna stick it right there. And I'm gonna get our other pom-pom here, put a little bit of glue, and I'm gonna push really hard and glue it down just to make sure it's gonna stick. Now look at how we're going. We're getting closer, aren't we? Now we have this bear pom-pom we're gonna use for Pooh's nose. So again, getting some of our glue on here, you might need a little bit more because it's a little bit bigger than it was with the eyes. And I'm gonna stick it right here in the middle because that's kind of where Pooh's nose is, like our nose. And push down really hard. And there we go, look. What is the last thing you think we need to do? That's right, Pooh needs a mouth, doesn't he? I mean, like, just like how we have mouths, Pooh needs a mouth, that way he can eat his honey. So, we're gonna use this pipe cleaner. Now here's the awesome thing about pipe cleaners. You can bend them, you can make them into whatever shapes you want to, but you can also cut them using a pair of scissors if you wanna make it smaller. So I'm gonna make my pipe cleaner a little bit smaller. That way Pooh doesn't have a ginormous mouth. If you want your Winnie the Pooh face to have a ginormous mouth though, that's totally cool. You can do that as well. So there we go. Maybe, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna bend it to how I want Pooh's mouth. I can even put it on here and see if I'm gonna like it. See if there's anything else I need to bend on it. Then I'm gonna put some glue on the paper plate in the shape of a mouth. This tube is almost empty. That means it's gotten a lot of crafty use. Oh, there it goes. Okay, and I'm going to glue this right on here, just like that. And I'm gonna push it down for a second. And voila! We have a Winnie the Pooh face. Like just like that. So again, you can come on by, you can pick up the grab and go kit to make your own Winnie the Pooh face, or you can even make it at home with whatever you have there. So this is our Winnie the Pooh craft for the day. Okay, so for our next thing, we are going to be doing some Winnie the Pooh exercises. You are more than welcome to join along, or again, that grab and go kit has these exercises in there as well, so you can do them whenever you want to. So you are going to have to stand up because we are going to be doing some stretching with our arms. We're going to be moving around just a little bit, but I promise you, whatever you do, it's going to be incredible. So we're going to get started here. Let's loosen up a little bit. And the first thing we're going to do, are you ready? We're going to put our arms up. And then we're going to go down, but only halfway. Then we're going to go up. And then you're ready, we're going to go down and touch the ground. Oh. And then we're going to do that 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go down, but then guess what? We're only going back halfway because guess what? We're going to do that 2 more times. Are you ready? 1, 2, and then up. And are you ready? Now we get to do the fun part. We get to walk in a circle. Can you walk in a circle? And are you ready? Here's the ultimate finale. 4 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 4. And you know what Pooh would do right now when he's all done exercising? I think he would probably grab a big giant pot of honey. But if you need a drink, I would suggest maybe some water. I hope you enjoyed our exercises. You got a little bit of a stretch out of it. And I hope you continue to have fun with our program.
From the book, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, comes this story. This is illustrated and published by Mouseworks Press. Piglet was one of Pooh's best friends. He lived in a fine old tree in the 100-acre wood. One blustery autumn day, Piglet was sweeping up leaves in front of his door. No matter how hard Piglet swept, the wind blew back more leaves. It was a big wind, a blustery, busy autumn wind. Oh, dear, worried Piglet. I'll never finish sweeping these leaves before my friend Pooh arrives. Suddenly the wind got even bigger. It lifted Piglet right up off the ground. Piglet sailed over Pooh's head. "Hello, Piglet," said the surprised Pooh. "I was just coming to visit you. Where are you going?" "That's what I want to know too," said Piglet as he sailed by. Pooh managed to grab hold of Piglet's scarf. It began to unravel as the wind pulled Pooh along, but Pooh held the thread tightly. "Mama," cried Roo, "look at the funny kite." "Oh my goodness," said Kanga, "that's not a kite, it's Piglet." "Hang on, Pooh," yelled Kanga. "Hang on, Piglet," yelled Roo, and the wind just got bigger and whooshier. The wind got so big it lifted Pooh right up off the ground. But Pooh held on tightly to the thread from Piglet's scarf. There was a giant old tree in front of them, and in the tree there was a house. "Pooh, where does the wind blow things?" asked Piglet. "I don't know," answered Pooh bravely. "That's what we're about to find out." Al didn't get many visitors, so imagine his surprise when he saw something he didn't usually see. 2 faces pressed against his window. Who is there?" asked Al politely. It's me, said Piglet. And me too, said Pooh. We were passing by and we just dropped in. Amazing, exclaimed Al. Don't you know it's windy out there? You had better come inside. Al was pleased to have visitors. He offered his friends honey and tea. Your visit, said Al, reminds me so very much of the great windstorm of '67. That was the year my great Aunt Clara traveled to. Al didn't get to finish his story. The wind blew up a sudden, terrific, powerful gust, and the whole tree house began to tip to one side. Al's house crashed to the ground with everyone still inside. Christopher Robin, Rabbit, and Eeyore hurried over to see if they could help. Don't worry, Al, said Christopher Robin. We'll find you a new house. We sure will, said all the friends, and eventually they did. It had been a long day for Pooh. He snuggled cozily in his bed, ready for sleep, but the wind was still blowing, and the night was full of strange noises. There was one noise that Pooh had never heard before. It was just outside his door. Grrr, went the noise. Piglet? Asked Pooh, shivering a little. Is that you? But grrr was still the only sound that Pooh heard. Pooh went to the door to investigate. Suddenly, a large orange creature with black stripes bounced right on top of Pooh, knocking him over. Hoo-hoo-hoo! I'm Tigger, said the creature, looking down at Pooh. My name is Pooh, and you scared me, Pooh answered. Of course I scared ya. Tiggers are supposed to be scary, replied Tigger. But he wasn't very scary, really. I don't think I've seen a Tigger before, said Pooh. What does a Tigger do? Why, Tiggers bounce, said Tigger proudly. And he bounced all around the room. Nothing can bounce like a Tigger. Tiggers are wonderful things, he said. Be on guard, shouted Tigger as he bounced toward the door. There are things in the forest tonight, strange things. What sort of strange things? Asked Pooh. Why, heffalumps and woozles, of course, yelled Tigger. Be on guard. They like honey. And he bounced right out the door. Pooh wanted to stay awake and keep watch for heffalumps and woozles or any other creatures that might be interested in his honey, but he was quite tired from watching the bouncing Tigger and from the excitement of the blustery day. Pooh fell asleep. As Pooh slept, he began to dream. It was a strange dream about honey and heffalumps and woozles. While Pooh was dreaming, it began to rain. Pooh's dreams were usually about honey, but on this stormy night, heffalumps and woozles floated into his dreams. In the dream, a giant heffalump grabbed Pooh's best honey pot and began to fly away. Pooh chased after his honey pot, trying to save it. Come back! Come back! Yelled Pooh. Pooh awoke with a start. The heffalumps and woozles were gone, but his house was full of water. Oh no, my honey, shouted Pooh. I mustn't let the water get inside my honey pots. He quickly gathered them up and carried them outside. The water was rising higher and higher in the 100-acre wood. Pooh put the honey pots on a branch of a tree where they would be safe. As he was arranging them, he saw Piglet float by on a chair. Are you all right, Piglet? Help me, Pooh, his little friend answered as he floated by. Before he floated out of his house, Piglet had managed to send a message in a bottle. His message was soon found, and Piglet's friends spread out to search for him. Al was the first to spot him. He saw Piglet right away. "Don't worry, Piglet," Al called. "We'll soon have you out." Pooh was harder to see because he had his head stuck in a honey pot, but Al spotted him too. As Al flew above them, Pooh and Piglet drifted over a very big waterfall indeed. When they reached the bottom, Pooh was on Piglet's chair, and Piglet was in Pooh's honey pot. When they finally reached dry land and the rest of their friends, Christopher Robin looked at Piglet floating safely in Pooh's honey pot. "Pooh, you are a hero," said Christopher Robin. "Let's celebrate," said Christopher Robin. "Let's have a hero party." "Great idea," cheered the friends. Christopher Robin hurried to get hats and flags and napkins. "What sort of cake would you like, Pooh?" asked Christopher Robin. "Well, if it's all the same to you, I'll just have some honey," everyone shouted, and they laughed all at once. Hip, hip, hooray for Winnie the Pooh. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure of Winnie the Pooh on this day in which we celebrate Winnie the Pooh.